And we're back. Chris sees the internet. 9 p.m. right here, Sundays.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. right here on, man, we're off to a rough start.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a little rocky, but
Look, Eddie's the producer. I'm just going to put it on. Eddie's the producer. All he has one job is to say, take off the mute button. And he forgets every week.
For some reason, I thought
every week
you did, but it just, I mean, I should have looked down
every week
with my other eye.
But we're here. Chris sees the internet. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you. We are powered by PlatformCollection. Make sure you follow at PlatformCollection on Instagram and right here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. Turn on your alerts. I swear every show doesn't start that rough.
Right.
But we're here. And thank God for editing, because once this is on YouTube, you won't see that part at all.
It's wonders that happens.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, we are here. If this is your first time tuning in, you're in for a treat. We got two really dope artists coming up. We're going to be speaking to the one and only Mark Ford.
Word.
And Cam Gnarly.
Tight.
Cam Gnarly will be on closer to the top of the hour. It's going to be really dope. We're going to get, if you guys know how we like to talk on this show, man, we like to get in depth with artists. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of artists watch the show and take in the show. So we try to give them some stuff to help their journeys. Yes. And we do that by speaking to people that I think are doing some really dope things in art and music and culture. And I think we try to bring some insightful people on that are willing to share their journey with you guys. That's the biggest part. Because not everybody's willing to talk about the downsides and the
right
and the not so shiny parts of this business.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everybody we bring on is really honest about it. And so far, if you've been tuning in, we've had some really dope interviews. Shout out to the artists who've come through. But like I said, Mark Ford, Cam Gnarly, they're next up. And then I think we're already booked. We're booked through the month, I guess.
Yeah, till the month. Yeah,
you know who we have on next week?
Yes, I do. I have to.
Well, Eddie will look it up.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
But in the meanwhile, we're here, man. We're ready to get it in.
Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie Soul is up next week.
And May Vision.
Oh, and May Vision from Europe.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to tap in to see what's going on in the European and in the Netherlands, actually, and see what that hip hop scene's all about. We got the homie May Vision coming on next week, and the soulful songstress, the young queen herself, Stephanie Soul, will be on next week too. So if you're a singer, if you're looking to get into that kind of art form. And May Vision is an independent rapper who's obviously being interviewed in America. Mm-hmm. So he's doing some stuff right with his network. He's expanding. So a lot of people coming in with the insights. So my hope is that you'll be able to watch these episodes, take tidbits from everybody who comes on,
right,
and then apply those things to your own journey. And then we will have done our job right here on Chris Sees the Internet.
And even if you hear someone that might need those tips, send them over and we will provide it for them.
Yeah, send them over. And then as always, you guys can always drop us a message, OG Hip Hop Eddie on Instagram, at KILLcRey on Instagram. We're here. We're here for you.
You will find us.
We're here to help you figure it out. And it's on.
Well, let's figure it out. How was your week, man?
It's been good, man. I'm
busy.
I've been busy. I've been editing a video.
Yeah, every time I come over, you're editing, man.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing lately, man. I'm trying to stack up a bunch of stuff for the year. Got a bunch of music coming out.
That's tight.
But yeah, you know how it goes. Tying up the loose ends, making sure everything is ready to go, and then I'm thinking dropping some music at the beginning of March somewhere. First couple weeks of March.
That's dope, man.
Most likely I'll drop the next single, and then it's on again. Then we're off and running. Yeah. So hopefully you guys are tuning in with me. If you guys would like, follow me over on YouTube as well, KILLcRey. You can check out my vlog and some other video series that I have there, as well as, in fact, you can check out a series I do called Think Tank, where I featured May Vision, who's going to be on next week
Word
from
up.
the Netherlands. He sent in his song. He wanted me to react to it, and I did. And now we have struck up this working relationship, and he's going to be on this show, and I'm going to interview him.
And he's gonna be in the future, man.
I think it's his first interview of this manner too. So that's gonna be cool. Young hip hop artist out of the Netherlands.
They're 6 hours ahead too.
They're 6 hours ahead. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna be
That's
talking to us from the future. He's gonna let us know what happens. So if you buy lottery, maybe you want to tune in that day. Maybe he'll drop some lottery numbers. Since he's 6 hours in the future.
I'll bring my pen and paper.
Yeah, so come ready. But today, man, we're talking to Mark Ford. I'll tell you what I want to talk to Mark Ford about.
Let me know.
I think he is one. I want to talk to him about his writing process. I think he's one of the doper writers in the independent game right now. He's got a hell of a pen game. He's got bars.
Yep.
And he's bar heavy. And his songs are really rich with stories from what I'm assuming are his own life and things from around his life. So I kind of want to talk about that. I want to talk about the like how much of that is storytelling, how much of that is writing. Because I feel like when I'm talking to someone like Mark, it's like talking to an author, He's like he's a wordsmith. So the written word is an important thing to him. So I want to talk to him about that. And then Cam Gnarly, for people who don't know Cam Gnarly, let me see. How did we meet Cam? We met Cam through Noah James,
Through Noah
I think?
James, yep.
Yeah.
Doing a show with them.
Yeah, we met Cam through Noah James, and at the time he was just this really young, positive artist, following in the line of people like Noah James who write out of the IE, the Inland Empire. If you don't know where that's at, it's in California, Southern California, kind of inland empire. But they've produced a hell of a lot of talent out of there, and it's kind of a rural area, right? There's not a lot of money there,
right?
It can be a violent place,
It could, yep.
Yeah, over the last few years, we've seen an increase in like shootings and stuff out there. But he's from San Bernardino specifically, and he just has this really positive outlook on his music. It's really what it's all about, finding positivity, discovering positivity, examining what that is, what role does that play. And I want to kind of talk to him about that too, because I feel like Cam was one of those guys that I noticed very early on that seemed like he already had a look already and a feel.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that. Yep.
Yeah, and I feel like his the character of his music was pretty well defined very early on. And since then, he just continues to grow as an indie artist. I don't think I've ever seen, even a few months' time go by down here in Southern California where I don't see Cam's name on some flyer somewhere.
Right. Yeah. His name is always out there, man.
So he works hard. And I just kind of want to know about that journey and how that's been for him. It's interesting because I feel like Southern California specifically has like this weird, almost like blue collar, indie artist feel, there's a lot of people who they're like, for instance, right? There are people who literally have huge fan bases, like, and I don't mean like, obviously I'm not talking like Rihanna numbers, but I'm saying like as an indie artist, they can sell out 500-600 person capacity places, no problem.
Right.
And they have regular jobs. Like I know a lot of them. And I feel like that's kind of just like a normal way. Like people understand down here that you got to work so that you can pay for your business to get off the ground, and if your
Right.
business is music, you just do the work. I mean, I'm sure half the Uber drivers in LA would be artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But Southern California specifically, I feel like there's a lot of like working artists, and I mean that they're artists who might not be getting paid for their art, but they actually have other jobs, and then they fund their art. And even those people end up getting big fan bases, because I think some people misunderstand that just getting the fan base doesn't get you the money.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Mhm.
Because if you don't have things that fan base actually would like to purchase with money, not just consume, right? Not just watch your videos, not just listen to your music, but actually either feel like they want to invest in you by supporting you,
Right.
buying merch, that kind of stuff, or you have a product that is some value to them, right?
Mhm.
Like eventually we're going to have a Patreon for Platform Collection, where you can get bonus material, but that's literally just for the people who want to invest in the company and feel like, like that's something that is meaningful to them.
Right.
It
right.
doesn't have to be pushed on anybody. It's just for whoever wants to do that. But if you don't know how to link up those kind of things, or you haven't thought of something of value other than just the art that you give away for free, if you haven't thought of anything beyond that, then yeah, I can see why.
It could be tough, man.
Yeah, it could
that's
be really tough to try to get a foothold. So you could have a lot of fans, and it still might not be enough for you to like only work on art.
Right.
Man,
Yeah.
that's the hustle. That's the part that a lot of people don't know when starting off in art, and they don't know how long that could take, possibly.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, there's someone here in Southern California, that big rock band person, and goes on big tours, but does still the construction work.
Right.
Even,
yeah.
Even though, is still traveling and doing these big things.
Yeah,
but
and tours the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of I think that's one of the things that people might not get completely, is that it's like a lifestyle choice.
Oh,
Pursuing
I
art
see that.
and even the entertainment business on some form is a lifestyle choice, because the 9 to 5 work hour isn't something that is relevant to that business.
Right.
So sometimes you work 4 hours and then you don't work for the rest of the day. But in those 4 hours, you can make a lot of money, or you could make no money, but you need to do that in order to make the money at a show later on.
Right.
For instance, doing interviews, doing all those kind of stuff, right? Like, those are all things we as artists, you just do them for free. You have to. It's part of promotion. It's like handing out a flyer. And using this kind of technology, where these are talking flyers now, a YouTube video is a talking flyer. You can put out a lot of information. Of course, artists would do that. And I encourage artists to do it, to get their stories out and utilize everything that's out there. But you don't get paid for those things. So driving to places to get interviewed, doing podcasts, and if you don't have sponsorship or someone backing the podcast, yeah, then you're paying for your camera, your internet, your all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In hopes to build something of value in order to be paid for that.
Right.
But you need to build the thing of value. And that's the thing I think a lot of people,
there's just more to it. I mean,
they find hard to gauge how long that might actually take,
right.
or what it will actually take.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, what it will actually take to get is the hardest step, man.
You're right.
Yeah, just
right, because what you might need, and that's the thing, it's like it's so different for a lot of people. But I mean, there are some things that every artist needs, right? Every artist needs promotion.
Right.
And if they can't do that for free, which means that to do it for free, for you to be able to promote for free, means that you have already put in the time to build an audience that is literally waiting for you to be in contact with them,
Mhm.
waiting for, you to go live, drop music, posts. They're there. They're checking for it. They're constantly. They're looking when you're not doing that. Just to get that, think about that. Just you as a person listening at home or watching this on YouTube. Do you have 5 people right now in your life right now that will pay money to go see you do anything? Like 5 people that, and then you need to do that once a day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's hard as fuck. I don't think people really understand, what goes into that.
Right.
If you have, you at home right now, do you have 5 people that will drop $5 even a week on you? 5 of them consistently that you could go, okay, that's what, $25? Whatever I was going to buy for $25, I don't have to save for that. I don't need to, because I know that's going to come every week. That's big.
Yep.
So, thus, a lot of artists have normal 9-to-5 jobs until they can kind of figure out that puzzle, because it is kind of like a puzzle.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah. It's why the majority of successful people in the entertainment business who at least are working and making some sort of money, they're not always like the most, and I can say this with all honesty, like they're not always the most talented person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually the toughest though, because they can just take the constant storm of changes and pivots and all the different things, and it doesn't break them. Whereas, like, you would think the dopest artist is probably, let's be honest, the dopest artist is probably the most sensitive person in the room. That's what probably makes the dopest artist, right? They're able to tap into that thing that everybody wants to do. And if they do that better than everybody, then they're just very sensitive to that. And that doesn't make for a tough person all the time. So you can see why that doesn't, like they say, like the music business kills the art. I mean, there's some truth to that. It definitely doesn't encourage the art.
That's a tough pill, man. But
yeah.
yes,
so thus the indie hustle is a real one. And it's going to be dope to talk to Cam Gnarly and Mark Ford, 2 guys who are on the indie hustle.
Mark Ford's coming up too.
Yeah, let's get, let me go ahead and set that up. And by the way, guys, if you are watching this on Zoom, or if you're watching this on
YouTube.
No, not Zoom. That's it. You can't watch this on Zoom. If you're watching this on Zoom, get off the Zoom. You shouldn't be on there.
Don't sign on to ours right now.
Recording in progress.
I still haven't figured that out.
If anybody knows how to get rid of that recording process, please send a message.
Yeah, because I don't know I don't know how to stop that.
Yeah, it's been a struggle.
But yeah, we'll have Mark Ford coming up in a couple minutes, and
but we're on YouTube. We're on your
wherever you find podcasts. The audio version, you can check out the audio version. But we're going to be having Cam Gnarly come up. And what I was saying is, if you guys listening to this on the audio version, you can always watch this on the video version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can see all our fuck ups. You can see them like in real life. You know what I mean? But yeah. And if you're watching this on video, I guess, obviously you can listen to it in audio.
Yeah.
They
can peek at us once in a while if they want to.
I mean, that's how I take in podcasts. I probably listen to the majority of my podcasts. I listen to them on YouTube while the video is just playing, and then I just kind of have it playing in the background, or I'm listening to my headphones.
Oh, I've done that with videos you send me. I just kind of they're playing in the background.
I mean, YouTube is solid, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you really say about it?
I can hit repeat as many times as I want.
There's a reason that it works. You know?
Yeah.
Here we go. We got the homie. I can hear you, Cam. We still don't have your camera.
Oh,
there you go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Gnarly.
We're gonna have
what's good?
Mark at 7th.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so Cam is on. Wait,
am I
Cam,
early?
are you supposed to be on? Are you early?
He's at 8:10.
Oh, let me get out of here then.
The beauty of live shows. It's all good, man. We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, we back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
That's the Cam Gnarly. He just wanted to make sure that, he was here. That he was gonna be here.
Stuff was working, yeah, man.
And he's here. And so
Well, that's a double confirm there.
okay. So we know that eventually Cam Gnarly will be on.
Yeah, 810 for him. Yep. And then we should get
let me restart the Zoom so I can get Mark in here.
Recording in progress.
oh man. Makes me nervous every time that happens.
Recording stopped.
Oh, now I feel better.
You feel like they're listening to you.
Yes, I know they are already, but
okay. So we're waiting on Mark Ford. How do we meet Mark? Oh, dude. So the way I met Mark Ford is really interesting, man. I met Mark Ford literally on stage. I was hosting, and I think we performed. It was a tour for Self-Provoked. We were on a tour for Self-Provoked, and we were at this venue called Fresh Mex in Oxnard, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oxnard.
Mark was on the bill. I was hosting, and I was helping host. I think I was there with like DJ Root, maybe Parker, the homies. But anyways, somewhere either in his performance or whoever brought him up, maybe it was Jeffy. Shout out to Jeffy Obvious, promoter extraordinaire out of Ventura to Oxnard.
Yeah, man.
But maybe they brought him out, but nonetheless, it was said throughout his performance or something that was his last performance. That he was stopping music. He was gonna walk away, and that was gonna be his last performance. I guess he'd been on the hustle for a while, and then he performed. And I had the mic up right after his performance to talk to the crowd and bring up the next artist. And so I just happened to mention, like, he was leaving stage. I stopped him, and I said it on the mic. I was like, "Yo, like, you should not be quitting." Like, I just felt like that because he was so dope. Like, and the big thing is I've been doing music for a long time. And this was the first I had heard of him. So I was like, oh, man, he still has so much growth. Mm-hmm. He has so much growth that he could have because if I'm barely hearing him, I'm sure there's a lot of people who haven't heard him. And when they hear him, they're going to have the same reaction that I had, which was, wow, this guy's, it sounds like this is, he is made to do this.
He is, man. He is. So. I don't know, man. Maybe he's having some internet trouble or something, but other than that, I mean,
should we keep the Zoom on or
let's keep it on. Let's keep it on, and
okay,
he should be getting on soon.
Let me see if I can find some Mark Ford music, maybe possibly.
Yes.
Let me see here.
Mark Ford. Yeah, I remember a story with him at Thought Fest where he had come up and he's like, Eddie, can you get me on stage? And he was not even part of the show. And I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. You got to go ask over there. You got to go. And he went and asked the different people. I told him, and then he came back. He's like, bro, you have to get me on, man. Come on. And I was like, if I can squeeze you in there, bro, I'll get you in, but just stand by. And for some reason, something happened where I was able to squeeze him in.
And they needed somebody.
And he got to perform
at Thought Fest
a song.
Well, there you go. So we got a few stories. So you have a story with Mark. I have a story with Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll be able to get him on.
Yeah, I just hit him right now, but I'm not sure.
Okay, let's play some music and we'll be right back. Hopefully with Mark Ford.
The money tree, nigga. Yeah. The God's back. On the other side of the globe and shit. Yeah. Let me get it, man. Look. I I control my destiny, fuck your tarot deck, the barrel tech. Lay a couple arrows, get your barrel wrecked. Ox City rockin' childhood, plus a thoroughbred, thorough sex. Menage a trois, I'm ready for the world next. Residing in the West, apparel fresh. A feral dog off the leash, so this beat was my therapy session. Luxurious cloth, the sparrow wet. Dying swinging like a flex, big illustrious off the feral net. I twist the doobie, split for loose leaf. Hoes around me looking Afro-Latina. A Christy, I'm a Gucci. Bad and bougie, please excuse me. 2013 acquired a camera, so life has been a movie. Wasn't always fancy, in and out of jail. Had a couple close calls, but I ain't talking about that cell. Had a couple sleepless nights, contemplating in that cell. Self-doubt, closest thing to hell, but in the end I prevailed. It was fun, blazing through the past. Sun rays beaming down, familiar warmth through the glass. 40 blunts to the face, whole tray full of ash. I got a couple haters mad, cause y'all 40 got a bag. Look, back on Clover Ave before the pose and rollers past. Them niggas called me Dolo Bad. Took a loss, they got the stash. Got it front and back, gotta help me polo that. Now we riding solo on the money tree cul-de-sac. In different boroughs, they say they sound thorough, and WP reached out to me from the other side around the world. The money tree, nigga. Yeah. 40.
I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
Blow hit like a couple Folgers. Do-rag wavy, I'm Moses, nigga holers. Chocolate sweets, bon appetit, like hostess from the bottom. That pit get lit like mimosas. I want the best. Give me the bread, watch the hoster. That's why niggas too concealing with the toasters. Keep your enemies close, we know that. But niggas taught me to keep your peace a little closer in the streets like oil. I personify this. Give me that worm and that soil. Supply the guys when I fish. Weak minds, wish I failed, they exonify bitch. The most high in my eye, who I personify with. Word life, me. I'm a pharaoh from my past life. Hieroglyphics on the walls, I was a graph writer. This type of pen and lights of venom that can match vipers. My plug got the type of gas that can match lighters. So many fish in the pond, gotta watch them for a shark biters. The FBI snipers try to label me a joker. These two-faced fruitcake niggas be them same indictment suitcase niggas tryna dark night us. Dope head stuck, shooting at Makai Pfeiffer. I'm on my shit like a ripe diaper, trying to maneuver through these niggas like a bike rider. Street novelist with setting lines in my typewriter. Culture, we flipping on the strip, let that sink in. Judges trying to hang me from a tree limb. Maneuver through manure like a Uber. In the city with a pastor in the precinct. We getting high right now. What y'all doing? Yeah, we getting high right now. Sin City to Cali, Northtown back to the valley, that's culture. Can't touch your style.
Since a youngin' I've been doused in that holy water. Pain language on repeat as we shine the armor. Fought karma through these city sagas. Suckers out to get you like a hungry school of piranhas. Some Hail Mary of this hell to chopper. Inhale the struggle and exhale the drama. Get boiled in the beef along with fettuccine pasta. It's hard to keep the peace when you well within this monster. Belly of the beast catch you lacking like a Benihana. Marijuana blowing on the porch with my tia Juana. Catch a body, we ain't saying nada. That be the 7th letter code of honor. Night prowl spraying all our problems. Escapism had to Pete rock 'em. Fleets out for cream, caution, G's robbing wheat vatos. City of gods and demons in one. Kilos of skunk, keys for the bump. That's Hank Willie in the green Austin. Swerving the turnpike, crack pipes that burn ice glaciers. Zombied out fiends on these blocks like Legos. Mothers crying, stacking coffins like Jenga. And big dreams for their babies won't save them. The sun's shining and we made it through another day. Give praise to the Most High as we cock the gauge. Pour some liquor for the dropping grapes. It's all culture when my barrio lays.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was dope, man.
Mark Ford is dope.
Yeah,
I think he's having some phone issues, so we're trying to get him going. But the show must go on, so
Yes, we must
we
continue.
are good. But hopefully Mark Ford, whatever time he gets on, we'll get him.
Yeah, the line's on.
But yes, the line is open, Mark Ford, if you're trying to get in. I know you're having some issues. But we have Cam Gnarly, who has already checked in.
Yes,
He'll be on
he will be
at the top of the hour.
Yeah, let's get him in.
We're gonna play some Cam Gnarly music in a little bit, man. Yeah, but yeah, there you go. There you have it. I told you, Mark Ford, ridiculously dope. I feel like he's
Yeah, his lyrics, bro. As you were saying, I was paying attention.
yeah,
And I
he's
was
telling
like,
some
oh,
stories.
man.
He's telling some dope stories, and like I said, I kind of just want to see is that like how much of that is the story, how much of that is stuff he's seen.
Okay.
So I'm interested, and so we're hoping to get him on. He's supposed to be on at 7:30, but he's having some issues, so we're waiting on him. That's live.
That's live TV for.
That's-
live
that's
TV,
live show.
live shows, live it all.
Oh man, I've been smoking these CBD cigarettes.
And how
We're not sponsored by them, but I'm gonna say it anyways. It's called Wild Hemp. Let me put that up on the camera real quick.
It's wild hemp.
Wild Hemp cigarettes. So they're basically it's all hemp. There's no nicotine in it at all. It's even hemp paper, hemp filters. There's no what's in cigarettes?
Tobacco?
Tobacco. And it's all CBD, 100%. Well, not 100%, but it's CBD. And they sell them at the liquor store. Just like right down the street at the liquor store. So
What do you get when you smoke that? Do you have any kind of?
for me,
Yes.
they're just I feel like they're just like a good they'd show me out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm a high tension person, so the CBD helps it out a lot.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? You just kind of feel like I don't know. I don't feel as anxious as
That's good.
and I like, but let me ask you this is, I mean, forgive my ignorance, but smoking cigarettes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the nicotine
Yes.
that fucks you up.
Yep.
But what about like, I'm assuming the smoke and the carcinogens in the smoke, that's got to fuck you up. Right? So
I would say yes too.
So, because I've heard this debated so many times, dude, like, oh, like weed doesn't give you cancer. In fact, some people say weed is like,
Cures it.
yeah, or cancer
or helps
fighting.
it. Yeah, helps it. Yeah.
Right? But, so is it the type of smoke? Like, you know what I mean? Saying like, is it like, so if I'm smoking a cigarette, what if I'm smoking a cigarette and is there such thing as, cigarettes without nicotine? Like, can you just get like natural, or does all what is it?
Tobacco.
Tobacco have nicotine in it? Can you look that up?
Yeah.
Does all tobacco have nicotine?
Kind of seems like they would, I would think, but let's find out.
I mean, I just feel like, because I've heard that argument since I was younger about how, oh yeah, weed doesn't give you cancer, but isn't it smoke has to have some sort of effect on your lungs that could possibly cause like cancer, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, look at
does
does all
tobacco have?
nicotine. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. I like smoking.
All tobacco products contain nicotine.
Okay, so it could technically just be the nicotine. What about does all smoke? Can smoke cause cancer? Ooh, there we go. I'm telling you, right here on Chris Sees the Internet, we're
getting
fucking
we're getting the
scientists,
news
yo.
right now.
we're scientists. We're helping you. Because if so, then I mean, I've smoked weed for a long time.
Let me see. The smoking making.
Does all smoke not smoking.
Oh,
Does all smoke?
it's all smoke.
Does all smoke cause cancer?
Moment of truth's coming up, man.
Yeah, because what if you work like what if you're a cook?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
does meat smoke? Like, if you just inhaling meat smoke all day, or can that cause cancer?
I mean, I was talking to my wife earlier today because she was saying that when she was little, she remembers in the ranch that they would burn petroleum at night for
Okay,
light.
well, that will cause cancer.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
okay.
let's guess.
I mean, that's
Good,
okay.
That's why you're on an internet show and not a scientist.
Good. Okay. Let me see. Tobacco smoke. It's just a tobacco smoke. Can smoking? No. Can you get cancer from smoking? Once. What is smoke?
And what did you search? I bet
I
you
did.
searched
Does
something,
all smoke cause cancer?
and that's what came up.
Yeah. There's
Does-
not. There's. I mean, it's talking about tobacco, so we're not saying tobacco, right?
Yeah, we're
It says
saying
tobacco smoke is a toxic mix of more than 7,000 chemicals.
Yeah, that may be it. Man, maybe that really is it, huh?
Many are poisons. At least 7 are known to cause cancer in people.
70 are known
7
to cause cancer in people or animals. People who smoke cigarettes are 15 to 30 times
Yeah.
more likely to get lung cancer. So even if you smoke cigarettes,
Yep.
this is interesting. You're only 15 to 30 times. I mean, I know that's not necessarily low, but it's not like if you smoke cigarettes, 50% chance you're going to get cancer. It's only 15%. Like, oh man.
Mhm.
All right.
It's
well,
tough out there, man.
So smoking weed. Did you search that? You might as well search that while we're at it. Does
Yeah.
smoking weed cause cancer? Because I feel like the last time I read something about it, the verdict was still out.
But
Like
remember,
they say like, oh, we haven't done enough studying of it. We don't know. But there's no way. People have been smoking weed probably longer than they've been smoking tobacco. We have to have some numbers on whether or not those people are dying of cancer. And if not, is it playing a role in them not dying of cancer? I'd like to know that.
let me see.
Eddie's struggling.
I am, man. It says both for recreation and medical use is becoming legal in more states. Even as more people use it, health experts aren't sure whether smoking pot raises your odds of getting lung cancer.
See? Don't you? Okay, so you just read it for yourself.
Mhm.
Reading that for yourself, does that not seem weird?
It does, man.
Even the sentence. Read the sentence again. That
Even as more people use it, health experts aren't sure whether smoking pot raises your odds of getting lung cancer.
yeah. Well, how?
Aren't sure whether smoking.
There's a lot of people who smoke weed. You're telling me we don't have the data? Like we can't just go, did all these here's a million people that smoked weed. How many of them died of cancer?
But yeah,
Did they only smoke weed? I think we could get those numbers. It's weird to me that they're just like, we don't know at all. In fact, it's so weird, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I call conspiracy.
What I'm thinking is that not as many people were smoking weed, and now this type of weed that is out it's a different level of it,
but it doesn't matter if you've been smoking weed since Cheech and Chong days. There's people who've been smoking weed daily, bro. Everybody smokes weed. Let's just be real, bro.
The majority, yes. I would say yes.
Yeah, and I know that's a slight exaggeration, but yeah, I feel okay with that exaggeration saying everybody smokes weed because I feel like a lot of fucking people smoke weed, man. And so the fact that we don't have any numbers on whether or not weed can kill you potentially means to me, in my conspiratorial mind, is that it doesn't kill you, and that's why they don't want to say anything, because then everybody will go like, wait a minute. So you can smoke weed and not get cancer? In fact, it helps if you have cancer? Like, yeah, that to me is the only reason.
What about the higher parts? What about like the wax?
I don't think it matters.
No? Okay.
Yeah. Because, well, it doesn't matter. Well, smoke, because we just looked up whether or not smoke just in general causes cancer, but there is no data on that. It's only that smoking cigarettes,
That
you have
day,
15 to 30% chance more than a normal human being of getting cancer if you smoke cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's a myriad of other health problems,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Stomach shit, there's a bunch of shit, but cancer specifically, it's only 15 to 30% more chance. So I'm saying, like, if you live next to a freeway, you probably have just as much of a chance of getting cancer as it is smoking cigarettes. You're inhaling gaseous fumes all day.
Yes.
It's just in the air. You're just breathing them in. If you work at a factory, way more. Hold up. I'm not saying smoke cigarettes. By the way, don't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah,
They're
please don't.
dirty habit. I used to smoke cigarettes. It's disgusting. Stop it. Stop it. Don't give yourself 15 to 30% more chance of getting anything.
Please.
Unless it's the lottery numbers.
Yes.
And
then just spread it out.
But yeah, but that is weird to me, right? That I'm sure if you're a weed smoker, and I feel like if you listen to this show, you probably are. I'm just taking a fucking wild guess. You might be high right now. Most likely you're probably high right now. But it is weird that we all know that a ton of people smoke weed, and there's no hard numbers on whether or not weed can cause cancer or kill you. It for sure is not included in the 15 to 30% more chance of getting cancer. In fact, it's not included in that at all. So it definitely doesn't do that. So smoking weed doesn't give you a 15 to 30% more chance of causing cancer because it doesn't have nicotine and all those chemicals in it that they're saying causes the cancer.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And nobody's making like nicotine brownies or edible, edibles or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's true. Nobody's eating.
Nobody's.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Even more so, bro.
That's what. Yeah. So
we eat the weed. We smoke the weed. We put the weed on our faces. We do all these different things with the weed, and we don't know whether or not it causes cancer or could kill you. Why don't we just go ahead and say that it doesn't?
Yes, please.
But I'm saying that's what science should say. That's what everybody should say. Instead of going, we don't have the data on it. That's bullshit. We have the data. Just again, how many people died? How many people smoked cigarettes and weed? How many people only smoked weed? How many people only smoked cigarettes? There we go. And I bet we could just take a rough estimate and still figure out that weed probably doesn't cause cancer.
True.
I'm just saying.
Bro, when my dad was going through his cancer, I would get him like gummy bear edibles that would just help him.
Right. I mean,
for
dude,
that pain,
it's
man.
almost common sense, right?
Yes.
If you've smoked weed for more than 5 years, for sure you have heard the conversation that weed can help Alzheimer's, cancer,
even when people are shaking, right? When they it's like a nerve thing.
Yeah, nervous. Yeah, when you have nerve damage, any of those kind of things, right? You've heard that. But at the same time, a scientist can say, but we don't know if taking weed, eating weed, smoking weed causes cancer. But you should get it if you get cancer because it helps. But we don't know if it causes bullshit. Bullshit. And YouTube's probably going to block us because we're blowing the conspiracy wide open.
It's money, man. Money is a dangerous thing out there.
Money is a big part of it, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. If this is you're just tuning in, hopefully maybe you were tuning in for Mark Ford. Mark Ford, I think he just had issues with his phone, man.
So
we will reschedule him though if he can't get in.
Sure.
We're live, man, so this kind of shit happens. But we got Cam Gnarly, who is definitely going to be on. He already checked in. Maybe when he checked in, he bumped Mark out. And Mark's just floating out there in the Zoom universe.
Yeah. He's in the cloud.
He's in the cloud. He's stuck there. Let's see. Somebody in the chat room said, Longhair 5150. Shout out to Longhair 5150. Shout out to Secret Saviors of Underground Hip Hop. If you want to get into some NFTs and support real independent artists, Secret Saviors of Underground Hip Hop. I've been smoking weed daily since I was 12 years old. I'm strong as an ox.
Wow.
Well, that's debatable, but yeah, no, I feel you, man. I feel you. I've been smoking since I
started late, man.
17, probably. maybe
Okay.
16 and a half, 17, somewhere around there. Because I was smoking in high school already. That was the
No.
best time of smoking, I think.
Bro, I wish I would have smoked in high school.
Well, my early college years too were pretty. I mean, it's all been a pretty good.
Yeah.
It's all been pretty.
I mean, and it continues.
Right. But yeah, like
Dude, I remember in our college days going and smoking some weed and going into the apartment we lived in, and I'm like, I was laying on the ground, feeling I was on the ceiling, walking.
Yeah. Do you remember when you
remember
were that young enough to be that silly
Yeah,
all the time?
giggles were
Right. Laugh.
They were in.
Dude, when
or-
was the last time you got high and like laughed? Like, were that one of those laughs where you have to like
where,
you
like,
can't
it
stop
hurt?
it. Like you can't stop it.
I
Right?
would like one of those, but yeah, I haven't had one in a while.
Fucking adulting, man. That's what
Is that what-
adulting just does it to
How
you.
dare
man.
you bring that up?
It takes the giggles right out of you sometimes,
Damn,
man.
giggles.
Yeah, something about age
Yeah.
stops that from time to time. But you should get back to that if you.
Yeah, hopefully.
That should be a goal. You should never really lose that. I'm ashamed that I can say that I've definitely like weed is more of a relaxing experience now, or something I'll do to get through something, than just to
it's interesting. Yeah,
just like to enjoy the moment. Right? That's
Yeah.
not good. That's
Right.
not good. That's why I'm smoking CBD cigarettes, so I don't fall apart. But yes, the early years of smoking weed, those were so good.
and it was called chronic, and we had to go.
Yeah, remember
Find
we
it.
would just call it chronic. Anyone could just call anything chronic too. I remember that. Like, I actually didn't have any. Remember when you used to have to buy weed just from people?
Yes.
Right? And everybody had the chronic, right? They'd be like, "Yeah, we got the chronic."
There's
right?
still some people out there with that.
Yeah, but there is no way to because we ended up eventually growing weed. I grew weed for a little while.
Yeah, we did. I remember that.
And there's not an actual like unless you're like really really good at it, you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah,
You're getting whatever those seeds, whatever someone told you those seeds were.
Should we get him in? He just yeah. It was his signal was out.
Mark Ford's in.
Yeah, well he can get in right now.
What time do we have Cam on?
Like in 10 minutes. That's a tough one there.
I feel like it'll be a little tight.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it'll be a little tight. Let's do.
Or should we get Cam and then maybe after?
Yeah, maybe we'll have him after.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, let's try to get him on after. If not, we can get him on.
Yeah.
Soon. Shout out to Mark Ford, man. He's trying hard to get on the show. I didn't want to get him on just for like 10 minutes and then
get him off
because the way we have the Zoom set up, and the screens set up, we'd have to set it up.
to get them both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah. And we want to just okay. So I just throw him after, man.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I feel like, and that's weird because the weed is stronger now, right? Maybe we cross the comfortable point of weed. You know what I mean? Like where it's, I feel like when I was just buying weed from the weed man, I feel like the highs were definitely not, you know what? I don't remember saying that they were intense. Dude, I pretty much went through almost my entire 20s at least. Maybe, yeah, my entire 20s not having a bad weed trip ever.
Right.
And I think I might have said I had a bad trip, but what I meant was I just had a bad time in whatever we were doing. But it wasn't because the weed was making me have a bad trip.
Oh, I might have.
But now, since then, the weed you smoke now, yeah, it can be really
for me. Yeah.
it can be rough.
Yes. I mean, I have to have strong conversations in my head when it hits me and I'm walking outside or something and I'm like,
Just to calm yourself.
Yeah, just like,
Hey, yo.
Yeah. Uh-oh, hold on.
oh,
I think that was Mark Ford for a second.
yeah. No, let's see.
Yeah, I think that I think now, yeah, it's just a weed. I think we passed the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Because the weed, you know what I mean? Like now you don't know. You could get. I've been on another fucking planet before with weed.
Same here, dude. Same here. But yeah, I mean, I've had a trip where, I mean, earlier in my days, I don't do it now, but earlier in the days where I was just parking randomly and
Just smoking.
yeah, just like, oh man.
Yeah. I would
And
do
just
that all the
yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Or I would, just pull over to a parking garage or something and just light a bowl up.
Mhm.
There is no way I could do that with most of the weed that I smoke now without there at least being some complication. Where I'll just be like, oh shit, I need to drive real slow right now. Or like, you know what I mean? Or so it would be some sort of
It's
complication.
at a
now.
whole different level now.
Whereas, I feel like before you could just smoke and do everything. Like I did everything that I was normally doing. So it's definitely gotten more intense.
It has, man.
But it doesn't cause cancer, apparently.
No.
And we broke it here first.
Yeah.
It
But
definitely.
it does cause some tension sometimes, or some like feelings,
Yeah.
But other than that, no cancer.
I wonder what that is, though. Why did I? Again, though, I think it might have something to do with age. Look, especially you 20-something-year-olds out there listening. I know you're fucking listening, bastards.
They are, man. They're like, those guys can't
living
handle
that
anything.
good life. Look, I'm just gonna be honest with you, because in many ways, many times, I feel like I am you. I think anyone you talk to in the arts will tell you that it has a tendency to keep you young, thinking anyways. But I will tell you this. If you're in your 20s right now, trust me, no matter what you do, there is nothing you can do. Things will slow down. Things will not be as shiny. It just is. That's just it. Like, just you will put in the hours.
Yes.
That will make certain things less exciting, certain things less important. It's just a normal part. And I'm going to tell you, in my 20s, someone told me this. And I was like, fuck that. Fuck that.
Bro. I remember
that
those
might happen to you.
conversations.
That ain't going to happen to me. But sadly enough, and I'm telling you, I'm probably not the average. I haven't had a 9-to-5 job most of my life. And I've been in the music business for a long time. Arts. So you can, most people from the outside looking in think this is acting young. But I can tell you, even me, who's been on that journey, I can tell you it slows down. There are things that are just less important. They
It
just
does
become less
change.
important. And your worries change. Wait, I'll tell you this. I don't remember being a young person necessarily and being like, even thinking about like, what am I worried about? Like it would just, whatever was happening is how I would be reacting, where I feel like when you get older, you're not present as much because you're either planning or working towards a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes up a lot of time. So it's hard to be present. And when you're not present, you worry.
Damn it.
And that shit comes. So if you're in your 20s,
enjoy them and just
live it
just
up.
Do your thing. Whew, I remember.
Live it up. Because it doesn't even matter what career path you take. Eventually, you will gain some perspective that is different from what you have now. And things become, like I said, either more valuable or less valuable, depending on how you look at it.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So we're going to have Cam Gnarly. I'm going to play some Cam Gnarly music.
Yeah, let's play some music before we get them on, and then we'll have Mark
Ford after
that.
Yeah, we'll just go back to back.
Word. Let's make it happen.
Let's see what I should play here from Cam Gnarly.
That one's cool.
My dude is a worker. I'm telling you, dude, he's just constantly out there working. I love the stuff that he does. Let's listen to this one. I haven't even heard this. Let's go. This is called The Heels.
Hear it.
It's by the homie Cam Gnarly, and if you're just tuning in, he's going to be up in a few minutes. So stay tuned, and we will have him on. Let me see here. Cam Gnarly, the heel, featuring Ray.
Nice.
And this is on his YouTube, man. So check it out. Make sure you support the artist. By the way, if you are tuning in for the first time and you like what you hear, or you're just having a fun time hanging out with us, if you want to support us, support the artist that we interview and bring on the show. So follow Cam Gnarly, follow Mark Ford, and yeah, this is Cam Gnarly, the Heels.
I can, and I won't. I can't hide my eyes to be low with you. At times I hide myself to get high with you. But no, what's cool in my intro, my exit? Heavyweight on my worth, I got leverage. Brain working through blocks, that's Tetris. I don't take a day off, that's Ferris. When I'm not stacking, I'm embarrassed. When I'm not balanced, I heal silent. Tapped in, her power, I got guidance. Tighten up and reach new horizons. Manifest with your motherfucking chest. Stop praying like a punk. When God throw the lob, you gon' lay up or you dunk. When you're thinking small, then you're already shrunk. Grow up, nigga. Gotta see the bigger picture, panorama vision. Everything in golden glisten ain't for the mission. No, hey, be gentle with yourself for the feels. Yeah, especially you out in the field. Gotta deal with the pain for the hills. Yeah.
I heard you had to break before you grow. And if you don't, you'll never know your potential.
Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. KILLcRey.
Cam Gnarly, man.
That was dope, man.
That was dope, right? I really like that. He said he's on at 810.
810, yeah.
Thank y'all.
Oh, look.
Thank y'all.
Oh, Cam. Oh, he's on. Let's just
Let's
get him
just
on
get him
right
in.
now.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm good. I'm here.
He's here.
We back.
Shout out to Cam Gnarly.
What up? Welcome back.
What's good? What's good?
It's your second time on the show.
Second time tonight. What's good?
What's good, Cam Gnarly? Thank you so much for coming on, man. Man, I wanted to have you on. I haven't talked to you in a minute, to be honest, right? We haven't talked.
Yeah, man. It's been a while since I've seen both of you guys. You know, much love. I hope you guys' New Year is going well.
Yeah.
I think our last time doing the interview was like 2017, maybe 16.
Oh my gosh, yeah, with Crappy Awesome, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Crappy Awesome. Actually, I don't remember where I was. I was doing a show in LA somewhere, and somebody was like, "Oh, I heard your music last time. I listened to your whole Crappy Awesome interviews.
That's dope.
The last two. Man. So yeah.
Well, that's dope, man. Yeah, dude. And since then, I can tell you what it looks like from an outsider looking in. It looks like, you've put together quite a string of successes, and you keep moving up on. I say this as like an artistic level. I feel like things that you do they continue to grow, and you know what I mean by that. When you being an independent artist, we're surrounded by a lot of artists, and everybody works at different paces.
Yeah.
But occasionally you'll see artists who are just like I said this before you came on. You're a guy who I don't think much time ever goes by where I don't at least see you doing something artistically, whether it's performing, putting music out. It's just a constant stream. And I told Eddie this, and we were kind of sharing this with the audience before you came on. You are one of the first people that I met out of the IE San Bernardino, where I felt like even early on, man, when you were first developing, I felt like he already, like, the character of his music is already in place. Like, I feel like he feels like he knows what he wants to say, or at least what he stands for. That's better. It's a better way to put it. I feel like you kind of felt like you already knew what you kind of stood for. Can you talk a little bit about that and like where did that come from? You know what I mean? Like the vibe of what you make.
I think about like I feel like it comes a lot from just how I was raised, like how, you know, who I am as a man. And I feel like I've always had a really good understanding of myself. So with that, it made it easy for me to, you know, kind of like have a mission statement from my music and the way and the thing that I wanted to say. I feel like I always knew the kind of approach that I wanted to have from the people that I looked up to, from my favorite artists, from, you know, the things that would resonate with me in music and in messaging and in the world, advertising or whatever. So I feel like I kind of just try to stay true to what my inner voice has always been telling me to do. So for me, that's been, you know, taking and enduring negative experiences and you know, finding the positive in those things. And I feel like it also is an adaptive mindset that works for me within the music. So it's like, or within the industry, navigating the industry of, you know, of this kind of work of just like, you know, understanding patience still equaling a positive thing, or understanding that not every no is a negative thing. It may just lead you to where you don't, or lead you to where you know you don't want to be, that kind of thing. So I feel like a lot of it though, as a, you know, to shorten it, is probably just who I am, man. Just how I carry myself, and that's just kind of like how I've come to terms with my experiences and the way that I'm okay with presenting them in a musical way, understanding that, you know, I'm kind of dissecting myself at the same time as dissecting this music shit.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, the dissecting yourself, because I think it's evident in what you talk about. For instance, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like each time you've dropped like an album or you've dropped a series of music, I feel like a lot of what you're talking about with each project is in reference to the improvements or the work you've done on yourself as a person each time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that something you feel like you picked up as a kid? Like, where do you put that? Because all of it is really dope, by the way. All of it, I think these are amazing qualities to have, especially if you're pursuing, you know, this type of fucking business. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many pivots, there's so many ups and downs. And we talked about this before you came on, about how a lot of the times in this business, what I have come to find in my own journey is that a lot of the times the most like artistically talented person isn't always the top person in the room. It's usually the hardest working person and the toughest person, because this business can really beat you down. It can beat a lot of those things, and perseverance is a big thing. Yeah. But to have those qualities, I'm assuming correct me if I'm wrong, there had to be a time when those qualities, you just didn't have those qualities, right? Like you were trying to find those qualities or learn about them?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's with the way I release my music, or the way that I create my music, it is kind of like a diary of where I am in my personal growth. Mm-hmm. And the way that the music sounds, and how much I can put into it, how much of myself I can put into it, how much of, you know, and as the music has grown, more of myself goes into it, more of where I'm from, more of what I feel, more of what I think, and more of the different soundscapes I want to explore. All of that kind of goes into the music, but it's a practice, man. For me, it's kind of like a philosophy, you know, like it's just my personal philosophy on life, and that is what really anchors me. And a lot of that is rooted in like my family, my background, where I come from, the people I've come up with, the things I've seen. And like I said, how I've come to terms with those things and choosing how to express that. So I can definitely say that there's been times where like that is definitely easier said than done. And it's definitely like a lot of that self-care talk, or a lot of that taking the time to really be like, to understand when I'm not feeling all of those things, not feeling like what you're saying, like within this business, it may not always be the the most talented person in the room, and then having to feel, understand those feelings when I don't feel like I'm the most talented in the room, or feeling like, maybe I'm the most talented but not the hardest working, because I think I heard you say before, like sometimes the most talented artist in the room is usually the most sensitive too. So
Yeah.
when I'm really tapped in with my music, that may make it hard for me to be in these rooms or work into some comparative capacity of like, oh, I'm a naturally competitive person, and I really like to be on my P's and Q's, especially I feel like that's why I like to work so hard, because I like to give quality work from the music, from what the message is and the way that it looks. But yeah, I've definitely dealt with those feelings of feeling like, oh, I may not feel like my best self, but how I got over that more so is just about realizing like the best way to be the best for me to feel like I'm the best, because I like to feel like I'm the best or carry myself in the nature of like, I'm confident in what I do. It's just trying to be the best me. So as I, and I feel like that all ties back into or anchors back into like the philosophy, like just like this mindset of like, I know I'm overcoming shit. I know what I'm getting to is bigger than what I'm going through. And I also have seen it happen. I've seen a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do, or the thoughts of people wanting to like my music or check out my music. I've seen those things come into fruition. I've seen people, I remember what it was like when there was nobody listening, and then, and understanding what it means now to have continued doing something for so long, and people recognizing it for its consistency more than anything. And I feel like that in itself makes it easy for me to stand 10 toes down on like who I am, because I've done this and I show up still continuously, and I'm still able to like, have a fresh outlook on things.
Do you feel like where you're at with things right now, if you had to take toll of your life right now, will this ever stop for you, being an artist? Is it something that you've already accepted, like this is just who I am, this is what I'm going to be forever?
This is and I've been making music consistently as Cam Gnarly since like 2012, you know what I'm saying? So like this is so much of my relationships and who I am, my relationship to how I've gotten to know myself is rooted in me making music. So I doubt that I'll ever, even before I was making music, I was an artist. I was a visual artist. I draw, I write, I paint. Even my girl's an artist. Like I ain't no way I'm gonna be getting away from art or creating art, expressing myself. So I don't think in no way that I'll probably stop. Like I won't stop until it's over with. And I feel like what's so interesting about that is just like whatever that looks like. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but whatever that looks like over time is just only gonna grow with that mentality of just like I'm gonna keep on creating until I'm not here no more.
Wow. Yeah, I love that, man. I love that, and I love to give people their flowers, man. I definitely want you to hear it and know, just as a fan of music, and someone again who's looking from the outside in more realistically, it's working, bro. Like what you're doing is working. You're making quality music every time you put something out. You can hear it advance. You can hear the thought process advance. I was super impressed the first time I sat down with you in your relative like calmness of like your journey. Like you kind of just accepted like, it's not always gonna be shiny. It's gonna be hard. I know what I gotta do. And for a lot of artists, let's be honest, like the work can break you. Yeah. That breaks most people. It isn't that they are not talented enough, or it's the work just breaks them at some point. And it might not line up correctly with how their life is going, so they're unable to keep that workflow up. How do you make sure that you're able to keep working at this level? Because like you said, you have been doing it for this long. What are some of your daily things, just even your daily things, man? Like some of the things that you could give that are practical that you have to do to make sure that you're able to create at the level that you're creating?
Just like something I've been doing for years, just like the writing every day, listening to beats, or like continuously creating, like investing in my craft, making sure that I got all the tools that I need to create when I'm ready to create. And I feel like
that's big.
Most artists kind of went through this tightening the loose screws phase in 2020. I know I did. So, I feel like even right now, I feel like I really started over after COVID and really got me into this space of like, all right, let me tighten up the spaces because I'm really good at utilizing something that I started, and revisiting it. And, I'm not afraid to push a record or push an idea that I had a couple years ago if I feel like there's merit to it. And
Right.
I feel like that has also played a big part of why my music still moves in this way, or to feel like something's working because I'm still working it. Like I can do a show of some music from 2014 and it get received like it's some brand new product.
Right.
And that's the space now because the world's so big, it's always going to be new to someone. So just staying in a creative space, like, just understanding that is my ritual. That is the way that I honor, the people who listen to me and give me, I've been given so much through music, like from having conversations like this or just really having, those moments when I'll be feeling really down and stuff like that about, because like you said, it can be daunting, this industry and stuff like that, or feeling like, is the impact there, or am I connecting, or is it good, that kind of thing. And I've been really blessed to, create some lifelong connections and relationships just off the music, off expressing myself. So with that being said, like it makes me even more susceptible to keep on doing it. So I really wear that. I really walk in it. I don't let nothing that I'm doing divert me from what my passion is, what my calling is. So if I'm at the job, if I'm working, I've worked with the youth for a long time. I think we talked about that before. Like I work with the youth for a long time, and even that, like I know that is a means to something else, but it's also something that is worthwhile. Like it's fulfilling, and that's the message. Like I like to do things that are fulfilling. I get paid well for what I do, music and on the job, but I like it because it's fulfilling. I've tried other things, even outside of music. I've tried things that weren't as fulfilling, and I didn't stick with those things. I'm lucky enough that I chose a thing that I really want to stay in, and it's like a medium, like to other spaces. I do a podcast. I still throw shows. I help other artists. I'm able to help other artists get their stuff off the ground and like help with their design and marketing and things like that. So just staying creative, like, and staying inspired more than anything. Like that's like some just some realistic things that you could do. Like if you want to just,
I like the writing every day thing. Is that how long have you been doing that?
Man, I have journals and journals since like my first official project in 2013. Like I have a stack of binders over here that sometimes I'll just go back and open up and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot I said this. Or other times, back then I feel like I would write raps more, like a lot of like bars and stuff like that. Like just like, oh, this is a witty bar, I'll write this little bar or something like that. But nowadays I really write everything. I write it all down, because to me, what I've learned in my writing is like it's like on some spiritual shit. It's like spells, it's like manifesting. So I write down when I have a good conversation with somebody, I write that down, or what the premise of the convo was. I write down the people that I met that made me feel good, or the bad situations, stuff like that, so that when I look back, I could see it all. It's not just a good bar that I can add to a unfinished 16 or something like that, but it's like, oh, I can make this a concept, or look at all these times that you felt like this. I write the date, I write the time, I try to like really chronicleize it in a way that makes it easy for me to go back on my back.
Wow. I think that's amazing, man. And again, it's, what do we tell you people? Look, man, we've been doing this for a minute. We know who you guys need to hear from. We know what kind of artists to pick to come on this show. Because Cam, what we're really trying to do is hopefully share the journeys of the artists that we talk to help other people, literally just to help other people to know. Because I know coming up, one of the things that I found most daunting was the inability of people's like the inability of people to like share their journey. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because just to talk about the journey wasn't even a practice thing. So some people just didn't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like, having artists like you come on who, like I said, just from observation, dude, like I don't have to know anything else. Literally, that's how you know it's working. That I can just observe from the outside and know, okay, he's making a lot of really good moves. You can tell that he's very thoughtful about his what he creates. Because that's something I'm just a fan of in general. But I also know that fans love that in general.
Right.
Fans love to feel like they're getting some sort of value out of the time they're spending listening to the things you create. And if the message that you're putting out is literally helping people, and I know because I've seen you perform live, you are one of those performers where there's people at your shows, every show that you do, that know some of your songs. They know so that means that they've put those into the soundtrack of their own lives, and thus they're getting value out of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then and again, I don't necessarily think that you make from a sound, like basically from like the sounds that you pick and the soundscapes, you don't necessarily make things that are not out of the box. You tend to make a lot of things that are out of the box. You like to experiment. So that's another plus to me as an artist looking from the outside in, because I feel like that kind of stuff is more timeless than other things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like instead of just being on a trend, you tend to just speak from the heart. And then the vibe and soundscapes that you make, you can tell there's a conscious effort to find your own sound, and you have that. How long did that part take? How long did the part of you where you felt like, okay, this is my sound, like even from a technical aspect?
I mean, I guess that's a continuous practice as well. Like where my sound can go. And really understanding my voice as an instrument, and if I know what my mission statement is, like as far as like what kind of messages do I like to put into my music as like a buffer for the new stuff I want to add in. So I look at it like a what's that guy's name, like Chris, what's that director, Christopher Nolan or something like that, like when like you had to watch Inception first to understand like the relativity and Interstellar.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's another lesson on that same type of relativity, but adding a new component to it of what you understand from that. And then you can have a movie like Tenet, where it's relativity in a new way.
Right.
And again, so for me, it's like
you're building on these concepts.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like when I look back at my music, I listened to my projects like different mindsets that I was in, where I built on these concepts, and it took time. Like there was times like you can listen to my earlier stuff, like my early mixtapes and stuff. Like there's not as much melody in the music, and it was kind of like hiding. I feel like it was hiding in there, and I had my homie Brian. I remember doing a session with him, and he was like, "Bro, stop hiding that melody." And at the time, I was really offended because I was like, "Bro, I'm really trying to rap, like." But also, and I feel like that kind of plays into what you were saying, like people being afraid to talk about their journey because what it meant to be like an artist or a rapper came with different things. Like you had to be low key about this thing and high key about this thing. Well, now it's not so much. It doesn't do you any benefit to be secretive or something like that. Like it's like unless you're Frank Ocean or somebody, like nowadays it does well for your art, for people to see you in a lot of different ways, to understand you in a lot of different ways. So I feel like it played to my benefit looking back to know that I never really followed a trend. I did stuff that I liked if I liked it, but I did it my way. And then finding music that really kind of played to where I was going sonically, vocally, where my voice was going and where I wanted my music to be in these different places. I'm inspired by a lot of different music, so I like to make a lot of different music where my music or where I can exist, so I can go to these places and be like, oh, I got a record I could do here, I got a song for that, or I got a vibe for that, and I try to write in that term. So I feel like the biggest thing about my music is like the vocal inflections or like the stories or the concepts that I'll touch on, or that I'll revisit. And probably the most constant themes are positivity or self-awareness or just like reaching your higher self. Probably
because that's the journey you're on right now.
And then just like mixing in the things that I love, like my homies, like music, or like my homies weed, like the IE, talking about my relationship to the IE LA, And also like with the video that you're showing right now, like with Mary Jane, like I make a conscious effort to like build bridges with music so that, you know, make it easier for other IE artists that come after me or during the time that I'm on to like, you know, they talk a lot of shit on the internet about LAIE, but I navigate pretty well on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And I like to build those bridges like with my homie Airplane James and making those kind of records because I like to make whatever kind of music that I like to listen to.
That's
so
tight.
I like a lot of R&B and stuff like that. And I look at it like my homie Noah used to tell me back in the day, like it's like slapping God in the face if you got the talent to do something and you don't add it to your expression. So I really be like, yo,
the same thing
for real. So I remember early on, like I would sing for play, you know, like just joking around type shit. Like that's just something that, you know, I grew up in the church, you know, I grew up singing in choir and stuff like that. So
yeah,
playing around singing is just something that me and my family just do, you know, like we would just do that.
Nice.
So when I started doing it in the studio spaces and really seeing like, oh, okay, this is setting my music apart in a different way. And it's not like a rap sing like Drake kind of thing, but it's my own personal soundscape of like what it sounds like when I do these different vocal textures on music. And as I've explored that, I feel like it's really brought my music to a different space. Like I'll have people who will talk to me about like, yo, I want to layer vocals like you on like the way you do your harmonies and stuff like that, or just like my melodic delivery and the way that I do my verses. But it's just like you said, like it's just not being afraid to explore and kind of not caring so much about following trends and being confident in the fact that what I make is dope. Like I have a good grasp of what sounds tight.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to like, you know, I listen to everything. Like I listen to the stuff that's out right now. I listen to a lot of street shit, intellectual shit, alternative shit, punk rock shit. Like, and
I feel like in your music, you can hear that you're not afraid to like expand your palette. Like,
no, not at all.
It feels like you're constantly looking for new shades and new paint to paint with. And that comes across. And I think, dude, I can tell you this, and this is definitely to your credit. I think as you were talking, I was thinking like, yeah, you know what? You are one of those artists, at least for me, that when I go back to your catalog, I always find something new.
Yeah.
Like I always go like, oh shit, I need to search because I think he's put out a few songs since I checked last. I got to check again. And it's always stuff that I like. And it's always stuff. Eddie and I were talking about this before the show. It's weird. Oh, you know what it is? Here it is. Here's a great way. You have a brand that I think people can trust. Like it's rare. It's rare that I can go back to an artist after not listening to that artist for a little bit and go back and go like, oh man, we're on this journey. Like he didn't abandon us on this journey. You know what I mean? Like I didn't come back and now he's like doing some other shit. You know what I mean? Like he's in the trap now and like that's all he's doing. You know what I mean? Like it's like we're in this for the long run. And I think that alone, I think it's important for young artists to listen to this too. Like that alone is so important if you're going to build a long-term fan base. The ability for me to be able to go back and not feel like I'm being left out now of the story because I liked you at one time and now I can't relate at all. Like that's a big deal. That's a big deal to not feel that, to be able to go and go like, oh, okay, I see. I might not have been here for that part of the conversation, but I see the conversation is just expanding.
Yeah.
And that's refreshing, man. And I want to, like I said, man, just give you your flowers for that. Cause as just a music fan, I love that type of music. And I find that's what I gravitate to the most. So to know someone who's doing that and doing it at the level that you're doing, man, that it's super encouraging. I think it should be encouraging for people who I think a lot of times feel like they have to be trendy or they have to do certain things to do it. Where they can look at you and look at this man who's literally been having an ongoing conversation with his fan base for years now, you know?
And not to say like I get caught up in that shit too. I am not perfect and I am not, I am very flawed and I struggle with all kinds of inner issues all the time. Like, especially because that's the kind of music I make. I make a lot of shit that's really close to the chest. Like my last project, Love Really Is, like that was exploring a way more melodic soundscape, way less raps. I gave the raps, but it was way more like, okay, I'm about to explore not only the concepts of love and how I feel about it and the stuff that I've dealt with. And that was really raw stuff. But to like I said, like that's really personal things to keep close, and that's a part of the mind, like in making the music. But I'm not perfect in that way, so it definitely gets, I know what it's like to feel like, oh, I'm so popping right now, and then a couple months go and the numbers aren't the same or the thing, but I'm still active. Like I still stay active because me doing stuff isn't. I try not to let it be like merited off the fact that that people are always like sharing my stuff or that kind of thing. Like I make music because I love to make music, and from the moment that I started making it, like I was given opportunities to find spaces when people be like, oh, I think people want to hear this. Like, come here and do a show. Oh, can you come over here and perform? Or like you said, and I do feel like that is a part of like my brand being trusted and people being able to watch me grow over time. I feel like a lot of people have seen different parts of Cam Gnarly from my early stuff before I even had locks and stuff like that, or before like I was as refined as I am now within my messaging of like positivity and stuff. And even now, I feel like my next drop of music is not necessarily going to be on the same thing. Like, because those themes are there, I can talk about it, my relationship to it now differently, because it's been an ongoing convo. So like, it isn't as jarring for somebody who been listening for a long time, and as if like I changed my name or I changed my aesthetics or something like that. I try to keep it very like how I'm feeling and what I'm on is what it is. And I make it look, I make it look good. I know how to do that. But at the same time, it's like, I try not to put on a lot of airs because I don't like to do no kind of fake shit or.
And that even, feels to me,
I can't do that.
It feels like I think what the audience loves about that is that it feels like it feels like you're watching your friend grow. Like if you listen to Cam Gnarly's music and you listen to it all the time, you're part of the conversation. You know what I mean? Like you feel like that. And it just dawned on me as you're talking about it. I don't even know if you do this, because I don't know if I even do that for my own shit. Like I don't know if you have, like, if you've ever just taken it all in as like we would as fans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because for you make it, you put it out and it goes out, and then you got to start performing it. You got to start, but you're probably thinking about the next thing too.
Yeah, but sometimes when you look for me, when I try to take it all in,
for
me, when I try to take it all in, sometimes it could be overwhelming. I felt at times, so I feel like it's better. In my way, for me, it's worked better to keep my mind straight and the blinders on sometimes. Now, granted, I have people around me who definitely keep me grounded and remind me that, like, you're doing good, or maybe look around and enjoy it a little bit. But I try, because I know my edges. It's like, I don't want to get too far or too close to what the perception is. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just keep on living and growing and let the perception be whatever it is, positive or negative. I just feel lucky that I'm able to still garner people's attention with new work or old work. I feel like in this weekend too, actually, I went to a Beat Cinema event in Hollywood last night, and I bumped into a guy, and he was like, "Hey, did you make a song called Vegetables or something?" Like and I was like, "Oh yeah, Cabbage." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I used to listen to that when I was in high school." And
wow. Nice.
To have like that conversation with him, and him be like, "Oh yeah, I'm an A&R now at a record label, and I remember I listened to that song so much." And I'm like, "Oh, what label?" And he's like, "Oh, Alpha Pup." And I was like, "Oh, I do my like, you work for the label that I distribute through." But it's like those kind of things where like I can make a connection with somebody from something old, or make a connection with somebody for something new, and have a similar conversation about the music or about how they felt about it. So it does feel good to know that what I'm doing is authentic and that it's connecting, but I don't have to and maybe it could stand to benefit if I did approach it in this way sometimes, and I'm learning that right now. But like, I don't have to fake so much of it like I see a lot of artists do sometimes. And that's no bash to them, because whatever works for you, do it. But for me, it's just like that doesn't work for me. It doesn't sit right with me. And it would probably give me more anxiety to have to be something that I'm not than just being me and knowing what I'm not, you know?
Yeah. And as somebody who's listening to your music, I feel like doing that would be confusing to us. Like I would at least be a little confused. I'd be like, well, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, what happened? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I get it, man. And I think it's super dope, man. Dude, shout out to Cam Gnarly. Dude, please come back again anytime you have something to promote. If people can support you right now, what's a good way for them to do that right now?
A great way to support right now, buying some merch. You know, I got hoodies, I got tote bags, all on my website, camgnarly.com. Or come out to a show, man, and just, you know, buy a ticket and support in that way. And I have new, you know, run up a video, share a video, you know, share something in that capacity. But more than anything, you know, financial is always the top spot. You know, buy your, thank you. Yeah, buy a hoodie, a t-shirt. I have new music coming out really soon. But yeah, stream my music, share my music. You know, DM me about getting some hard copies. I have hard copies on deck, like on personal, that's not on my website. And I feel like that too has also been like a real blessing, like to see. For a long time, I didn't really ask much from my fans about like financially or anything like that. I would get a lot of money off of shows. Like I would get pretty well paid off of doing consistent shows. But when I started to sell merch and, you know, have that like set your price, live your life kind of mentality, I've really seen a conversion, the conversion of people who have supported me online or at shows, and then seeing what that looks like at my merch booth or on my website. And, you know,
dope.
So that's been really dope too. Just like discovering new ways to market different things and also finding different ways to be present in people's faces when I'm not necessarily making music or putting out music or pushing a video. So, you know, check out my podcast. I do a podcast with some of my earliest music collaborators and my main editor and videographer, my homie VL and my homie Ralph. We do a podcast, Rat Habits Holiday Podcast, which is a part of my it's like my event promotion company. I've been doing that since like 2014, from throwing warehouse parties in San Bernardino to doing like a monthly at Los Globos in LA. So that ended up turning into a podcast, but I also use that platform to just highlight anything that I'm doing or anything that any of my LA, IE, or, you know, inspired people are up to. I like to use it as a platform like that, like just to show love to people. That's dope. To say the name of the podcast again? It's Rad Habits Holiday. If you go to my link tree, it's in my link tree if you go there too. Perfect. And that's at Camnar, right? CAMGANAR. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On Instagram. Please follow my dude. Like I said, if you guys want to support us, support the artists we have on, that's the best way you can do that. Dude, thank you so much, man. Please come back again, dude. Thank y'all. I got some, I'll be sending y'all some unreleased stuff, and I would love to get y'all opinion, and then we can lock, probably like mid-March, April, I'm about to drop a new single that's a twofer. It's a 2-for-1, two brand new songs. Dope. Just exploring new sounds and giving people things that they haven't heard from me, and seeing how they palette it and seeing how they categorize it. And I'm out here. I want to play something for you from your catalog, one of your videos on YouTube. What do you want me to play? For mine, I would say pick anything. Do Boundaries. That's one of the new ones from from the Love Really Is project, Boundaries. Check that one out. That's the first song off the project. Dope. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Boundaries by Camnar. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, bro. Peace, man. Thank y'all for having me. Most jealousies in America is insecurity. Left my baby girl a message that I know I couldn't text. What I gotta say too heavy, feel it in the chest. I'm not coming home tonight, I need to be alone. Rather
recording
take some time
in
for
progress.
Me to get it on my own. We've been joined at the hip since I was just a kid. I really don't want to hurt you, so
recording
I think
stopped.
I don't want to do you dirty, so I think it's best I did. I hate it had to come to this, it is what it is. Ay. I gotta leave this bitch where I found her.
Fish out of water, she a flounder. I gotta put it into the hours. I gotta put it into the. When you love someone, you ain't supposed to treat them bad. Know it feels sad, but these feelings gotta pass. Ay. I just gotta see what is best for me. Need some time to see where I wanna be. Ay. Where I wanna be. Need some time to see where I wanna be. Ay. Where I wanna be. Need some time to see where I wanna be. Ay. Where I wanna be. Need some time to see where I wanna be. Ay. Where I wanna be. Need some time to see where I wanna be. I forgave myself, now I'm back. Try to turn my name around me, that's a Mac. Money always coming in, that's the acronym for that. And mistakes add character, and yeah, I carry that. I'm on track, if I can't have you, then at least I have me. I've never been the type to doubt the things that I could be. I'm never in a drought, I love myself so thoroughly. I'd rather be alone than lead you on to keep it G. Ay. I gotta leave this bitch where I found her. Fish out of water, she a flounder. I gotta put it into the hours. I gotta put it into the. When you love someone, you ain't supposed to treat them bad. Know it feels sad, but these feelings gotta pass. Ay. I just gotta see what is best for me. Need some time to see where I wanna be. Ay. Where I wanna be. Need some time to see where I wanna be. Ay. Where I wanna be. Need some time to see where I wanna be. Where I wanna be. Where I wanna be. Where I wanna be. Need some time to see where I wanna be. Now I'm back. To the max.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm sorry to hold y'all up and shit, man. It's just, I was on the road. Yeah, cool. Cool. Yeah. I remember. I think I said it. Yeah, so I think that was a self-provoked show. And I was done, man. I was in a low place. I didn't want to do it no more, bro. I just didn't. I was gonna sell my equipment and everything. But you gave me such a dope introduction, and you were like, nah, you don't need to do that. And then a bunch of other people came to me telling me the same shit. And it just makes you want to go kind of harder, when you realize that you have like a little audience, you know what I'm saying? Like outside of like friendships and shit, you know what I mean? So like in the past few years, since I dropped my first vinyl, I've been using this dude Pocket's channel overseas. And what happened?
Oh, there you go. No, it
Can
was on
can
our
you
side. Go ahead.
hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So pretty much I've been using this guy's channel. He's overseas in France and shit. I've been uploading my videos there, and shit's been working out, man. Been developing a little fan base and just getting better with the pen. Got a lot of visuals lined up, got different projects this year lined up. So everything's coming out cool.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I definitely feel like that's an understatement on getting better with the pen. You're definitely one of the dopest people that I know, especially in this down here in Southern California, the indie scene. You're one of those guys that is, when people will need someone to drop bars at a show, you're a name that comes up consistently. Eddie and I were talking about this before you came on, about the music you make, man, is really rich with stories and experience. And you seem to not be afraid to share like all the parts of your journey. How much of that is writing? Because I know, dude, I mean, you're an excellent writer. I told Eddie, like, talking to you tonight, to me is more like talking to an author. You know what I mean? Like, you're definitely a wordsmith. You're somebody who the words mean a lot to you. Mm-hmm. How much of that, of your music, is actual living experience, and how much of that is you as a storyteller, as a narrator?
Most of it, man. Most of it's real. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and I say most of it because like I can't just recall all the music
Sure.
I've done. You know, I might exaggerate it and say, yeah, I got a crib or some shit like that, like different cribs, you know what I mean? But you know,
Yeah.
like I'm doing well off right now. Different shit's panning out, and it's from like a history of just doing different things. You know, I skateboarded, I was in the graffiti scene for a little bit,
Yeah.
did other things. But it's all on my music, man. Like I never say anything crazy, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I just speak real shit, you know what I'm saying, from different perspectives too, if you really listen.
Yeah, and I feel like we talked about this too. Is that there's something very like blue collar about like both the guests we had on today, Cam Gnarly and you, in that you guys are workers. Like at the end of the day, you guys come down to like taking the steps, doing the work. Like you said, you were at the verge of walking away from this, and to see now, you know what I mean? Like you were recently on Thought Fest. Your name keeps again. It's buzzing every time I talk to somebody about it. Everybody has dope shit to say about you. Plus the fact that you're just a good dude. But aside from that,
Yeah.
you can tell that actually doing the work and taking the steps is a big part of what you do. How much of your day is taken up by you like pushing this movement forward? Like how much of your day is that?
A good por a good portion, man. One thing that I really recently have been trying to start invest in is like different engineers.
Mm.
And I never realized this because I engineer a lot of my shit myself,
Mhm.
but engineers are expensive, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
For the
yeah.
good ones and shit. So being in a studio environment is like totally different than being and just riding at the crib or something, you know, like you feel the energy of the other person that you're with, you feel
Right.
the energy of the engineer, you could bounce ideas off of shit. So that's what I think I've been doing lately to strengthen my pen and everything. I am just a worker. I just lock in, man. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I just
Yeah.
lock in.
What are your day? What's your day to day like? Like because we talked to Cam Gnarly about this. Like, dude, obviously you know just as well as anybody else. Like this journey is a tough fucking journey, right? Like there's a lot
Yeah,
of
man, I got
pivots.
kids, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Exactly.
really difficult. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's
So
really hard.
just for someone who has a family and someone, you have kids, you have other responsibilities, for you to still be making art at the level that you're making and getting recognized the way you're being recognized, obviously that has to wear down on you at sometimes, right? Like what are you doing to like just maintain your sanity, bro? Like how do you keep it lined
It's
up?
uh I think Nipsey said this, but it's like when you feel like that, you're just supposed to go harder because that's
Woo.
the way it's supposed to feel.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like if you
Wow.
feel super tired, you just gotta keep going because realistically, you know, we're all gonna get burnt out on some shit. But you gotta like, I'm blessed that I can do different things. Like I do the videos, I do engineer. I can't really engineer right now because my computer's fucked up. Same with producing, but I make beats. And what I've been doing a lot right now that I haven't been trying is just trying different things with the cadences,
Yeah.
punchlines. I'm really motivated by raps that are witty, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that'll make you chuckle or go, you know, give you the stank face, all that shit. So that's what I'm focused on right now. But to go back to your other question, what's the daylight? We wake up like at 4:30, go to the gym, come back, drop the kids off. Um, I got different things to do throughout the day. But you know, I try and write. I always try. I got this little app called the Koala app. I make beats on there. I haven't
Yep.
been telling anybody, but it's kind of weird. It's different than the machine that I've been using. So I'll be trying to do that shit. And then the videos that I want to do going forward are going to be more artistic. So I really have been trying to like write different scripts out and get those in motion, come up with the budget for those. But on top of that, compiling different songs that I'm been saving up for different projects too. Like I'm saying, I got a lot of work coming out this year. I'm really excited about.
We're excited about it too, man.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that because I think this is important for artists, and I tell artists this all the time, anytime they ever ask me for advice on this. I think it's dope that you have other outlets to put your creativity into, because it can be taxing if you're just in the studio all the time, you stop living the life that you're writing about. And I tell people, I think it's dope when you can like Cam Gnarly paints. You're a filmmaker. You know what I mean? Like people, there's. I think that's really dope, and I feel like it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. At least I feel like this with me. I feel like it's a competitive edge when you have other artistic talents that you can drop in, because it always makes you fresher when you come back to that main thing. You know what I mean? Like that. If your music is your main thing, you come back fresh.
Sometimes I feel as though like it takes away, but you get into your pocket again. It's just good to step back from something, and when you step back from something, if you have something else that's geared in your field, then that definitely helps. You feel me?
Yeah. I like the fact that you're making videos, and can you talk a little bit about like, did that start out of a necessity, or did that start out of like an interest in filmmaking? Like, how did that start?
So pretty much like one of the directors that I had that was going to direct one of my first videos when I started rapping kind of flaked, you know what I'm saying? I sent him the song and then he just flaked and he didn't want to release it, but I knew what type of camera he had. I knew the editing software. And I just pirated the software. And then I had money at the time doing different things. I was able to get the same camera, like lights, different shit. And then that began the journey. And it was really just to get a camera to shoot me and the homies, and then video after video after video after video, doing music videos for myself, other people. Like it just developed into something like, hey, I could probably use this to like hustle.
Right.
For a moment, it got to a point where I was like, man, that's really almost like I was whoring myself out, just trying to make money off of it. But then after a while, I started seeing other people that were really dope with the video stuff. And I fell back in love with it more or less, like with a passion. So everything I do now is with a passion, you know what I'm saying? Regardless on what I get paid or whatever, I want to make shit dope. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's really dope, man. I think you're good at it. And like I said, for me, it just, because I know that this thing, if you do it correctly, right? Like it becomes a lifelong journey, right? Like it becomes a lifelong thing that you're going to consistently grow as an artist. You're going to change, you're going to develop. And I love it when I see like my friends pull out these other tools, you know what I mean? And then they start getting sharp at those tools too, because at least for me, I'm a huge advocate in this, bro. Like I don't want to see any of my friends broke. I love the struggling indie artist shit, but fuck that. I want all my friends to get money. And I feel like every time
if you're doing music and you broke, bro, you gotta stop, man. Like I don't know. I guess some people don't stop, and maybe some of them even end up making something of themselves. But it's like, bro, when you just dependent on music, like it's stressful as fuck, man. Get you some money, you're gonna feel different. Real talk.
Exactly. Because I think it hurts the art in the long term, in the long run. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, you can talk all that woody shit all you want, but if you broke, that shit probably really fucking hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
I think we all know it too, man. Yo, bro, talk to people about like what the rest of this year. Or actually, let me hit this before we go into that, because I haven't talked to you really in this format. I've run into you at shows and stuff, and in fact, Eddie was just telling a dope story how you talk about hustle. You hustled your way onto a Thought Fest stage back in the day with Eddie, and Eddie was just like giving you props on that, like how a bunch of people could have done that and never did that and never even thought of asking that or never. And because you did, you were able to cash in on that opportunity. Yeah, the consistency of it. You didn't stop, and how much we respected that. And I think since then, correct me if I'm wrong, Eddie, like since then, you have always been one of those artists that, you know, when we think about like the groups of artists that we want to invite on these shows or work with, or you're always on that list because of that kind of behavior. Because I realize like, and this is so important, man. And I would love you to talk about this a little bit and how long it took you to get like this. Because as someone who was going to quit, how long did it take for you to start going like, nah, wait a minute. I'm fucking dope, man. Like I make dope shit. People like my shit. I need to stop beating up myself. Like how long did that take?
To be honest, bro, I think it's crazy, bro. Cause like I know so many dope rappers, right? and literally all of them are self-conscious.
Absolutely.
No matter how dope they are, like I ain't even gonna throw no names because niggas probably get mad and all that shit. But like pretty much everybody. So I've come to the terms that I'm gonna feel a certain type of way and have certain feelings at times. But it's like there's been times where I just know to trust myself. Like I remember when I first got comfortable with shows and just let loose and everything. It was at a show and I was like, you know what? And I killed it, but I was nervous as fuck before. And I was all like, you know what? I just gotta let go. And I apply that to like the music aspect, the video aspect. Like sometimes I be stressing because there ain't shit to shoot when I'm at a shoot for a client or myself. But I just learned to like trust the shit. Like I feel that I'm dope. So I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially the more you do something, you get better at it. So it's all perspective on how you're looking at shit. You know what I'm saying? You could be at one side of the bus and see a mountain, the other side to have a view of the whole valley. You know what I'm saying? That's like a meme or some shit.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. And I think it's really cool to have seen you too. Like you run in dope circles, man. Like the people that you have around you are good people. And obviously that says a lot about you as a person. I am super glad that night. I'm glad that the people that talked to you that night did that, man, because I think it would have been really sad to see you walk away and we wouldn't have gotten all this great art that you've done since then. And I just want to give you your flowers. That's why you on this show, because I want people to know I fucks with you hard. I think that you're a dope artist. You're an artist that people need to be watching for. And I think people are starting to wake up to that too. And let me tell you this, just like I told Cam, this is one of the reasons I'm bringing you guys on these shows is because I know as an artist, one of those things that you never get to hear as much, but always helps is as somebody looking from the outside in, what you're doing is working, bro. Like it's working. People are talking. People know your name is in those conversations when people are like, "Yo, who's got bars? Who's dope? Who's performing? Who's working?" You're always in that conversation. So if people don't tell you, we're telling you now. Now there's a record of it. You can come back and play this shit back every time you get down on yourself. You can know for sure, bro, it's working.
Nah, man, that's like not even something you should worry about though, man. Because like if you don't do something, you should just do it. Woo. That's one thing that helped me.
Let's go.
Do videos and music too. It's like, you know, if you say you're gonna do something, you just gotta do it.
There you go. There you go, man. Yo, man, I want you to come back on when you have you said you got a bunch of stuff coming up. Please come back on. And tell people how if they can support you right now, what's a good way for them to support you, play your music by yourself? Yeah, how can they do that?
You could go to my Instagram page. That's Mark MARK4ORD. I got a link tree right there with my website, like different shit, you know what I'm saying? But you could also go to mark4traps.com and you could get merch there. You could get vinyl sold out, but you can get like whatever tees or hats I got. I'm gonna do a new drop pretty soon. As far as projects, I got a Japanese project that's gonna be a vinyl that's exclusively releasing over there with the homie Vanderwood. He's executive producing everything. It's working with different Japanese producers and different people too. It's a little EP. It's gonna be pretty dope. That's dropping. Then I got another project that I'm gonna drop on y'all. That's pretty dope with one of the Oxnard legends, one of the big homies. So that's coming up too. That's gonna have some trippy production.
Hell yeah, man. Yo, Mark. Much love to you. Much love to you and your family. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope we can see you again soon out there on the road.
Yeah, definitely, man.
And please come back again, man, for sure. People, please follow Mark Ford. That's 4ORD, right? 4ROD.
Yeah.
Yep. Mark Ford, everywhere you can find him, and then you can just Google my man. It's gonna pop up.
He's gonna be
and
out.
Run those videos. Run those videos up. Run that music up.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yes.
Oh,
dude, thank you so much.
Another thing I want to tell artists is make sure that you monetize YouTube when you upload your music. Just because no matter where it gets played, if people share it on social media or whatever, you're gonna get paid for it. It may not be that much because streaming sites, especially YouTube, don't pay that much. But
it's your money.
but it's your money. And not only
Yes.
that, you get to see the analytics of who's sharing it. So somebody posts that same video on YouTube, you could use that as analytical data that you could then target later on.
Oh,
There it is, my friend.
nice. The secrets of
There, that's what we
I
tell
love
you.
it.
I
I
told
love
you
it.
we hooking you up by having these people on, and Mark Ford is one of those guys. And obviously, reach out to Mark Ford, man. DM
Yep.
him, let
Yeah,
him know that
definitely.
you're listening. And then hey, and if you got the pocket, hit him up for the video as well too. He's working out here.
Please.
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
Good job. Hit me up.
We'll
Yes,
talk to you
sir.
soon, man.
Thank you,
Hey,
brother.
man, appreciate y'all. Hey, thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
All right, peace.
Mark Ford, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
What can we say, bro? One of the good ones out there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this. I think that us being there that night to watch him go through that journey of
Mhm.
almost quitting and continuing, to me it's a blessing because even though he might have felt some encouraging words from ourselves and from artists just throughout,
Right.
watching someone get there and then continue, what that does for us watching that is so much more valuable.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like just him. And I think that goes for anybody. If you're going through some shit right now, getting through that shit, you are an example to other people. So if you're like, I don't even know
100,
why
yeah.
I'm doing this, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It fucking matters. It fucking matters. I don't know how many times I've told that story about Mark Ford. And I always tell it in the way of like, yo, this dude had perseverance. Like because how many times have you seen somebody quit, want to quit something and there's just no talking them out of it? But he felt like he took it in and he was just like, okay, wait a minute.
Yes.
He reevaluated. And that alone, to me, like he gets credit for that because
Tons of credit, bro.
Yeah, 'cause
That's
that takes
tough
a lot of
decision,
strength.
man. Yeah.
it takes a lot of strength. Because wherever you can imagine where he was at mentally
Mhm.
when he was like, I'm gonna quit. What had to have happened to get him there, and for him to pull himself out of
right
that.
out of that. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. Yeah, because we've run into many artists in our journey, and some unfortunately don't pull out of it.
Right.
Yeah,
And
but they
it's
haven't
never not sad either.
Yeah, they haven't expressed. I mean, that's the dope thing that he was able to express it. Some of them that haven't been able to express it disappear, and then that ones have expressed it. Sometimes it's hard for them to even get out, even though they're advised that they're doing great. So
Yeah.
it's a tough
'Cause
one.
Like you said, like he's like even the dopest, and I know some of the people he's talking about, like some of the dopest barbarians, are like, man, I don't know if that song sounded good, or like, are the song that everybody likes, or they don't like that song, or they don't know if they're doing what they should be doing musically, even though they have fans, and it never stops. But I love the idea of again, I feel like the theme tonight, even though vastly different artists, right? Vastly different sounding artists, but the commonality in both these artists is like the ability to persevere.
Right. Oh man.
And have strength.
And push through everything.
Right. And like he said, he's like, yeah, I feel down all the time, but I just accept that that's something that's going to happen, and it's not enough to make you stop.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to Mark Ford. Shout out to Cam Gnarly. Mark Ford with 4ORD.
Right.
Mark spelled the way it sounds, MARK, and Cam Gnarly, CAMGNAR, Cam Nar on Instagram. And you can Google both of them. Please support them.
Tell
They
them
both
we
got
sent you,
merch.
man.
Yeah, tell them Chris Sees the Internet sent you. And we've kept you a little bit longer because we wanted to get that Mark Ford interview in. Shout out to Mark.
Thank you.
And shout out to him for putting in the work to get on. He was having phone problems and stuff, but he's here.
Loved it.
Next week we got Stephanie Soul coming up.
I'm excited for that.
And
the other one.
who was the other one? I just forgot. Again.
Overseas, man. Overseas.
Oh, May Vision.
Yep.
May Vision from the Netherlands
Mm-hmm.
is going to be calling in. I don't even know what time did you say it was going to be.
It'll be 6 hours, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m. It'll be 1 a.m. starts, so probably like 1:30 a.m.
He's in his 20s.
Yeah,
He'll be
and that's
up.
what we're talking about.
He'll be up. He'll be turned up.
Yeah,
he'll be turned up in his 20s.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad for keeping you up, May Vision.
and he doesn't have to stretch like I do.
Right. Yeah, your sciatica would be working out. Yeah, all that. But yeah, May Vision, Stephanie Soul, a singer, songwriter, and a rapper, producer, both dope content creators, both performers from different parts of the planet next week. So we're going to international next week. So tune in, and we'll see you guys then. Chris Sees the Internet every Sunday right here on Platform Collection. You can follow me at KILLcRey. Follow OG Hip Hop Eddie at OG Hip Hop Eddie on Instagram. Also follow my Instagram, my YouTube, and check out my music. I got new music dropping next month, as well as a new video. And then make sure you check us out March 4th if you're in the Santa Ana area.
Please come over.
March 4th, which is a Friday, we'll be there for a very special performance, the Invisible Ponchos. I'll be joined by Gene Flo. As the Invisible Ponchos will be a special guest at the Tumex birthday party show.
That's amazing, man.
So that's going to be super dope. Our first time performing in Santa Ana as the Invisible Ponchos. So the Invisible Ponchos is, we've just decided every time me and Gene perform live, that's what we're going to be known as. The
Invisible Ponchos?
The Invisible Ponchos. That's what it is. That's our live band. But I'll be performing my music, and Gene Flo's be performing some of his music, and it's going to be dope.
You don't want to miss it.
Get the tickets. It's going to sell out. Exa Stereo, Filiano, Tumex, Radio Inactive, myself. I heard that Moody, the artist Moody, is going to be opening up. So I saw that. That's going to be dope. Shout out to Moody. Shout out to Beardo. Hopefully Beardo will be rolling through.
So many surprises.
There's going to be a lot of surprises that night. But
we'll have merch. We'll have merch.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have some new merch. We're going to have a brand new Invisible Poncho shirt. I think we're going to have some Platform Collection shirts. And I think the Heartful Truth, a new show that's going to be coming on. In fact, they just did 22222. The Heartful Truth, hosted by Melly Moreno and 7 Octobers. And the first guest is none other than XP the Marksman.
Fire,
and they're talking about mamas in a good way, though.
Definitely.
In a good way. They're not playing the dozens. They're talking about real life conversations and heartful truths.
Truth, yes.
About moms and the artistic journey. So XP, notoriously close with his mom, notoriously dope relationship with his mom.
What a great start of a
What
podcast.
A great start. And they got Mickey Vale coming up. They got Noah James. Oh, they're already killing it. They just started their podcast and they're already getting these big guests. So the Heartful Truth 22222 right here on Platform Collection. Make sure you turn on alerts, subscribe, tell a friend. And if you're catching this on the recorded version, you can always catch this live Sundays again, 7 p.m. It's live, but then it's on the internets forever. And we'll see you guys next week, man. Have a great week. Stay safe. Love each other.
Real quick, we got Beat Block tomorrow.
Oh, we got the Beat Block. Tune into the Beat Block. Gene Flo right here. You don't even have to leave. Just keep this page up all the time. Platform Collection, bringing the heat tomorrow. All Beat Radio with none other than Gene Flo, the other half of Invisible, the other 1/3 of Invisible Ponchos. Eddie being one of those third. He'll be on tomorrow.
I'm super invisible.
He's the most invisiblest
of it.
He's the invisiblest poncho of them all. OG Hip Hop Eddie. But Beat Block TV tomorrow
on Platform
Collection. What time?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. right here. So tune in live, and it's live.
It's live.
Tune in, turn up. That's the internet. We see it. We'll see you guys next time. Oh, now you waking up?
Dude,
look at that fool.
He's like, wait. Don't involve me.